All right, so I'm gonna be doing a YouTube video, guys, on the new Shaman Talent class preview for Legion. It's gonna be a long video. There's a lot to address here. I'm gonna literally read it out all the way down. If you guys don't like reading, you're just gonna have to hear me talk it out. There is a lot to go through, so let's get started with me reading this paragraph. Okay, we're gonna start over here. Okay, so it says, "Welcome to our World of Warcraft Legion class preview series. In this entry, we're exploring the Shaman to find out what is in store for a different class." And here comes the overview, the preview. We are continuing an early look at the class and specializations designed with the Shaman. In these blogs, we will exploring the class identity, discussing Legion's new design. So they're going to redesign the Shaman class, basically. New design and preventing core combat abilities in each specialization, laying out the foundation upon which talent and artifacts will build further. That is, with that in mind, let's delve into what it means to be a shaman in the World of Warcraft. That's the first paragraph. So I'm going to literally read this out to you guys. So a lot of people don't like to read. And then you're probably saying, "Shut up, Ellie. Get straight to the shaman stuff. Let's get this going." I will. Give me a second. As a shaman in World of Warcraft, this means a lot to me. And most of us just scroll through and look through the talents. And we don't even really read anything. So I'm going to read it for you. And I'm going to try to do it in a very successful way. Okay, so for millennia, since the primitive tribal creatures, or cultures, creatures, whatever, of Azeroth and Draenor, the natural elements of the physical universe have been celebrated, feared, and even worshipped. Mystics sought communication with the earth, air, and fire, and learned to tap into their raw power. In time, these spiritual guides came to understand that the nature's elemental force are holier. By the way, I'm not that great of a reader, but you'll see that now. But who cares? You'll get the point. Benevolent, okay, worldly benevolent, but have in fact been locked unending conflict of chaos and primal fury that once consumed the physical realm. So begin the calling of the shaman to bring balance to these volatile energies, leveraging their intensity to mend wounds or inflict them. Okay. The use of totems is integral to the shaman's their type. We are addressing some persistent issues with their mechanics for a long time. There have been significant constraints associated with totems, like the fact that they can only be dropped at the shaman's feet, or they only have 5 health, or there's no more than one of the same elemental type that can be active at once. While these constraints were intended to ensure that totems felt unique, they ultimately drove us to creating strange tools to allow shamans to bypass such restraints, such as totematic projection or totematic persistence. In Legion, we are eliminating this awkwardness and simply removing the construct. Wow. Okay, so they're changing totems. Right off the bat, they're changing totems. Mm. Okay, totems of the same nature type can be summoned together, allowing you to have healing totem, a healing tide totem up at the same time. Elemental. Okay, did I pass that? No, we're fine. Elementals are no longer tied to totems. What? But the guardians that follow to assist you. Okay. Totem maximum health will always equal the percentage of the maximum of your maximum health. In addition, totems that need to be placed at specific locations will direct place using a targeting I was about to say rectile. That's not the word. If you want to place Earthgrab Totem in the middle of a big pack of nasty orcs, you can do that without having to run into into the nastiness, or separate a spell from throwing your totem there. In general, totem mechanics are concentrated around temporary effects, either beneficial or hostile. In localized area, all opposed to maintenance buff cooldowns, you will need to make sure are up all at the same time. Finally, we're bringing needed clarity to Shaman resource, particularly to move away from disguising a couple key resources as buffs. Lightning shield charges and elemental shaman. Lightning charges for elemental shaman. Maelstrom weapon changes for enhancement shamans, and mana have been replaced for elemental and enhanced with a new resource called Maelstrom. Mana is a fitting restoration shaman resource and will remain for that spec. Okay, so they are literally getting rid of mana for enhanced and LA shamans. We're getting a resource called Maelstrom. So far, so good. Sounds legit, man. I can't. This is freaking exciting. I hope I get into beta. Oh my god. Okay, so now let's go into elemental. Certain shamans have dedicated themselves above all else to forging a deep bond with the elements. Me personally with the class, and you guys as well. They have peered beyond the elemental plane, gleaning visions of ancient pasts with their manifestations of vital energies, once raged, unpetted. Oh god, I literally need to get through this. I can't stop reading. Oh my god. Impeded across primordial Azeroth. Through careful study and dedication, the elemental shaman is able to channel such power into destructive magical surges. Through the body of a shaman flows bolts of lightning, filled veins, as if from a storm, and bursts of fire and molten earth. They manipulate the land itself and summon spirits of earth, fire, to storm their aid to battle. The elemental shaman is a taunt, the very forces of nature. To give you an idea of elemental shamans in action, here is basic look at the core combat abilities. Now we're going to go into the core combat abilities. Lightning Bolt, 40-yard range, cast 2 seconds. Fires a bolt of lightning at a target, dealing moderate nature damage and generating 15 Maelstrom. So it generates Maelstrom. You don't spend Maelstrom. That's cool. I didn't know that. Lava Burst, 40-yard range, cast 2 seconds, 8-second cooldown. Hurl a molten lava at the target, dealing strong fire damage. If Flame Shock is on the target, Lava Burst will deal 50% additional damage, generates 15 Maelstrom. So far, nothing really big changing. Flame Shock, 0 to 20 Maelstrom cost, 45-yard range, instant. Sears the target with fire, causing minor fire damage and additional minor fire damage every 2 seconds. Last 10 to 30 seconds based on Maelstrom spent. Okay. Earthshock, 10 to 100 Maelstrom. So the more Maelstrom you have, the... Okay, this is starting to make sense for me. Instantly shock a target with conclusive force, causing massive nature damage based on Maelstrom spent. So if you spend 100 Maelstrom, it's going to be a big number. Makes sense. Okay, so Lava Surge. Now we're gonna scroll down a little bit more. Lava Surge. It's a passive. A passive. Okay, so your flame shock damage over time has a chance to reset the cooldown of your lava burst and cause your next lava burst to be an instant. Still the same. Mastery, elemental overload grants 40% with with mastery from typical gear, but chance for elemental overload to occur. Elemental overload causes lightning bolt, chain lightning, a lava burst spell to trigger a second spell similar to the same target that causes 75% normal damage of Maelstrom generated and no threat. Additionally, to provide a glimpse at how some talents may be upon this, here's an example of elemental specific. Okay, Maelstrom Totem. Okay. 40-yard range, instant 30-second cooldown. Summon a Maelstrom Totem near the target for 15 seconds that repeatedly attacks an enemy within 30 yards for moderate nature damage. Every time the Maelstrom Totem attacks, you generate 5 Maelstrom for you. Okay. Not so much of big announcements for Shaman so far. Pretty basically the same thing. Nothing big like they've announced with Shadow Priest and stuff. Just that we're using a different resource. So far. I have no idea. Okay, so far so good. Now we're going to go on to enhancement. Okay, intense communication with fire, earth. Okay, so this, I'm not going to read this part. This is basically like a summary of what enhance is for. Okay, now the gameplay identity for it as well. The identity of enhancement shamans is cool, but we don't feel that the mechanics do it well. Establish that. So, hold on one more. I don't hold on a second, guys. Stream. Sorry, the stream's watching this as well. We want this spec to be more melee range. Shaman. What? Let me read that. Sorry, guys. I gotta reread this for you as well, because, okay, the identity of the enhancement shaman is cool, but we don't feel that the mechanics do well to establish that. We want this spec to be more than a melee range elemental shaman, while having the distant battle mage feel. Enhancements leaving you with a multitude of buttons, many of which is unconsequential. We're emphasizing empowering your weapons and allies in the fray. Enhancement shamans become increasingly deadly as they build their power through maelstrom generations. They must be careful not to let it overflow while maintaining enough to utilize the most dominant attack at critical moments. Okay, so here's basically what they're doing. This is basic. This isn't like this is the core abilities. These aren't what I'm announcing to you aren't like the big giant changes. These are core abilities. They're the core abilities that they're changing. Rock Biter, 10-yard range, instant. Assault your target with earthen power, dealing moderate nature damage, generating 15 maelstrom. Flame Tongue, 10-yard range, 12-second cooldown. Scorch the target with fiery power, dealing moderate fire damage and enhancing your weapon. Each of your weapon attacks cause minor fire damage based on the weapon speed. Lasts 16 seconds. Wind Fury, passive. Each of your main hand attacks have a 7% chance of triggering 3 extra attacks, dealing minor physical damage. Lava Lash, 30 maelstrom, melee range, instant. Charge your offhand with the strike for dealing fire damage. Storm Strike, 60 maelstrom. Instant range, cooldown. Energizing your weapon with lightning and delivering a massive blow to your target, dealing heavy physical damage. Maelstrom weapon, this is new. It's a passive. When you deal damage with a melee weapon, you generate maelstrom. So, like a Fury Warrior or a Warrior. Your maelstrom's your rage. Interesting. Storm Fury, passive. Each of your attacks have a 2% chance to cause Storm Fury, resetting the cooldown of your Storm Strike and causing your next Storm Strike to cause 50% less maelstrom and triggers no cooldown. Mastery, elemental, enhance elements. Increase the chance for your Storm Fury, your Wind Fury to trigger 5% by 5% with Mastery from typical gear, and increase all fire and nature damage done by 40% with Mastery from typical gear. Additionally, to provide a glimpse at how talents may build upon this, here is one example of enhancement talent. Sundering, 60 maelstrom, instant cast. Shatter a line of the earth before you, causing strong enough damage to knock the enemies to the side. What? Did I just read that right? What? 60 maelstrom, instant, 20-second cooldown. Shatter a line of earth before you, causing strong physical damage and knocking enemies to the side. Is that some sort of thunderstorm for enhanced shamans? What? Okay, now I'm going to be reading Resto. To give you an idea of the Resto Shaman in action, here's some basic look at their core abilities. Healing Wave. Costs mana. Restores the target's health. There's not really much to read. Riptide, we all know Riptide. Moderate amount of additional healing. Healing Rain, heals the people around you. Healing Totem. Now let's get into the new abilities. Tidal Wave. When you cast Chain Lightning or Riptide, you gain a Tidal Wave effect, which reduces the cast time of your your healing wave by 40%, and your critical strike chance of your healing surge by 40% stacks twice. The mastery is called Deep Healing. Increase the potency of your healing spells up to 60% from mastery based on the current health. Okay, so additionally, to prove a glimpse upon this build, here's an example of a restoration spec talent. It's called Wellspring. 2.4% mana, 30-yard range, 1.5 second cast, 12-second cooldown. Create a surge of water that flows forward, healing all friendly targets in a wide arc in front of you for a strong amount. I hope you, we hope you enjoyed the this early preview of our approach of class specialization design for World of Warcraft Legion. We'll continue our review tomorrow, and we'll look at Warriors, Druids, and Monks. Okay. That is the Shaman overview. Class preview for Legion. They gave us one ability. What is that? So they gave us one ability on each. Super special stuff, one ability. They're changing totems. That's a huge one. They're giving Ellie an enhance a resource generator called Maelstrom, taking away mana. They're giving a cone of healing to Resto so far I read. They're giving enhance, in my opinion, reading that, is a enhanced version of Thunderstorm. And then for Ellie, Maelstrom totem, a totem that attacks people and generates Maelstrom for you. I have no idea what that's going to do or what it's even going to be implemented as. There is a lot around Shaman, and I hope to God in beta there's a lot more for us to learn. So far, it's basically the same stuff for Shamans. Without, the other spells and stuff. We'll see. We'll see. Every new update, if I get into beta, there'll be every single time there's a new update and the change on the class, you guys are going to hear it from me. If you guys want to hear about any other classes besides Shaman, and you want me to do a read-through preview for you, just let me know down below in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a like. Let's hope Legion brings DPS Shamans some love. Like and share this video, guys. Let's hope Blizzard sees that we're happy with the changes, but we want to actually see them and hope they're actually very beneficial. So I will see you guys in the next video. For now, that is the Shaman overview in Legion. Beta's in a couple weeks, and I hope we get in. More video updates to come. Elemental out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Bing, bong.